Hey, welcome to Random American, and today we're talking about the beast broadhead. So stick around because I got maybe some controversial news. Okay, before we get into it too far, I need to explain a few things. First off, the bow I'm using is a Bear Persist with Rip TKO arrows and the 125 grain Beast 2-inch cut. Alright? So that's where we're starting with all this. Another thing is that this is a sample size of 1, so whether you like what I have to say or you don't like what I have to say, I really strongly encourage you to go and look at other people that have used this broadhead and have tested it in the field and all of that. Another thing is, if I seem a little more, how do I put this, reserved, it's because I had spent days and days and days upon days hunting, and I was just in hunting mode, so not everything was quite as, I don't know, like I normally am, which is kind of odd in the first place. And lastly, I have sat on this video for a little bit now. Obviously, hunting season's over. I didn't get a chance to test it anymore, so that's kind of sort of what I was waiting on, but you know, it just didn't pan out that way, and I wasn't trying to kill more does just for the sake of it. So let's just go ahead and jump on into it. This isn't really a review. I might say it once or twice, I can't remember, it's been a while. But it's more of a first-hand experience that I want to share with you guys, and you make of it what you will. So that's the entrance, and that's the exit. So we're going to have to see if I hit any bones in here or not. But, man, you can really tell she was starved to death. My God, look at that belly. So, get her cut open, see what's going on. See how much I struggle getting her in here. Keep in mind, she still has her innards. Oh, there we go. She hasn't missed a meal. That's $300 worth of my corn right there. Alright, now that we're an undisclosed number of miles away, I'm going to go ahead and get her guts out of her. I'm probably going to, I'll just go ahead and pull everything out. I'll bring the heart and lungs out, see where we hit, see what we didn't hit. I'll see if I hit bone. I'll see if the blade's closed back and opened and all that. It's actually looking like I got a damn near vertical cut on her, so they probably just stayed open all the way through. If you're wondering shot placement, why I hit so low, is because she had already came in once and blew and blew and blew and blew and stomped and snorted and raised all sorts of hell, and she left for, I don't know, a half hour or so, and to a certain extent, if she blows, she goes. So if she'd have just spooked on something and ran off, she'd have been fine. If she'd have blown once and ran off, she'd have been fine. But standing down over the hill where you can't see or smell anything, and the only thing you're snorting at are squirrels barking at you, well, that kind of ruins everything else. So, got a doe tag, took a doe. May as well. So, yeah, I'll go ahead and get her apart and see what happens. All right, so interesting is, so I absolutely center punched the heart. I cut a little bit through that lung, center punched the heart there, and it went through all the way right there. I mean, you can't ask for a better shot than that. And that's not me bragging, but that's as good as it gets. She's still in 110 yards. I'll put the Onyx map up here if I saved it. But we'll go over what I think. I need to go get my bow and broadhead and all that. It's still up at the blind, but I wanted to get this apart because I don't think it made a very big cut. Because I got the 2-inch, and to me, that does not look like, it might be a 2-inch hole, but I doubt it. I don't know. It takes further investigation. Be right back. Okay, so I got the broadhead here. And I don't know. It may have deflected around that down there, but we'll get to that in a minute. So here's the heart. This is the thing that was cut the most. Get that outer off of there. You can see it's basically the same size all the way through, but look at that. I mean, I'm missing a damn ½ inch of cut on both sides. Unless it was at a hard angle. Even still, that doesn't make sense, because you think size of cut is size of cut, and it should have been that. It should have been that right there, not that little bit in the center. So I don't know what the deal is with that, but the cut here on the skin, oh, let go of me, you're already dead. The cut here on the skin is huge, but that's because whenever it shoves in, it stretches around, and before it makes the puncture, it actually creates like a divot that whenever it finally cuts through, it cuts bigger than what the actual, because I mean, the broadhead is not that big, you know. Almost looks like it had trouble. But if I'm being honest, it zipped straight through and it sunk into a stick behind. The tip is very blunted now, and it didn't hit any rocks. It's just that tip's blunted. Huh, wonder if I can do something about that. So, I don't normally, but I cut those lungs off there. I'm going to go ahead and skin her back so far, so we can get a look at it out here, because I don't feel like going home and doing that tonight. I'm just going to get her hung up, and I'll screw with that later. I'm just going to get her hung up and deal with it tomorrow or tonight or whatever I feel like doing. No, that's a... So even cutting this back, the entrance going in is a 2-inch cut right there. Okay, now we're on to something. Even still, it doesn't make sense. So on the other side, I completely center punched a rib and broke through that. Interesting. Okay, so this is going to have to continue whenever I get her hung up, skinned out, and split in half. Because the bone evading thing on the other side actually worked. Like it did its thing. I center punched a rib, and the two on the other side just have, or feel like they have little divots on them where this had gone between them and it closed up and opened. So on that side over there, it worked just fine. So it went in and it turned about 90 degrees going through. And that, even still, turning 90 doesn't make sense, because as far as this goes and not doing its full cut, because even if you were cutting at a super hard angle, it should have just sliced that heart in half basically. But this, for whatever oh, there's a piece of grass. For whatever reason, this was partially closed when it was going through, so it was sitting more like that, and I do not like that. That's not how it's supposed to work. So I think I need to dig into here. We'll figure that out, and I think this needs more testing. I'm not saying it doesn't work like it's supposed to. I'm just saying this time it was interesting, and we'll keep looking. So obviously I have the deer skinned, and I have it cut in half so we can get a better look and see what this broadhead did on the inside and how it expanded, how it collapsed, all that. So on my arrow holder, the 12 valve, I've got the arrow, I've got the broadhead. It came in from over here. Obviously, there's the entrance. And it was fully deployed on impact, if I could see it, and went pretty well all the way through, fully deployed. Like, I can comfortably fit the broadhead through. And I don't know exactly what caused it to close up a little bit inside the chest cavity, but then coming over here, it is partially closed still. I'll get you in a little closer. You can see that it had center punched a rib over here and just stayed that size, I think, all the way through. Yeah, it stayed the same size all the way through. So that's actually a little bit bigger than what went through the heart, and you can see I'm missing quite a lot. You can see very clearly that that's where the ferrule fit through, and it kind of did its job, and then I cut more. But then through the back side, oh, get it over here, it was closed up much more than its full cut. So what I found is this doesn't move as smoothly as it could. It feels very gritty, and it was getting caught halfway through. Get a rag, because this is sharp, because I did work on it a little bit. So I need to get in here a little bit better. So it can kind of get caught right there, and that's about the size of the cut that went through the heart. But I have since worked this back and forth quite a lot, and I actually oiled it, so now it works a bit better than what it did. My other blade, see, that one's loose, something's not quite, oh, there it is, still getting jammed up. I sent them an email, they haven't gotten back to me. It's been a few days, but I'll let you know if they do say something between now and then. I'm going to go ahead and try the other one. I do have a sever on the way that I'd like to try, just see how it works. So if you're getting a beast broadhead, I would probably check how it works mechanically first, just to make sure it's moving smoothly. The oil that I put on it was just 10W30 mixed with some motor coat that I've been using on my guns for 5 years or better. It's fine going through your deer. You're never going to notice. Hopefully you're hitting it in the vitals. You're not getting it stuck in a back strap, and you're not dumping half a gallon into it. It's fine. Don't worry. If you're that worried about it, I don't know, find something food grade. But I would just make sure that these work correctly and they don't have any catchy spots in them anywhere. And you can look and see here on the back side of the mechanism on the blade itself how it's not finished nearly as well as it should be for a $30 blade. So I'll use the other one. It works smoother. We'll see how it works, if it moves as fast as they say it will. This one, you can still hear it. Get a little closer. How it sounds rough. And that has been since I have smoothed it out. As far as durability, it's working great. This thing is probably hit a rock twice now. I took a stone, knocked the curl over on the tip. Knocked the curl over on the tip off, and it's back to being super pointy. I touched this with a stone just a little bit. You can see where whenever it had come back through the deer, that these had actually gone all the way through and curled forward because they were trying to spring back open, and it put a little nick in the blades here. I have no problems with that. I just have a problem with it getting half stuck. I didn't buy this for a small cut, and I don't think anybody that buys a mechanical does either. So take this for what you will. I don't know. I'm on the fence. But that's all I got, and I don't know. I guess see you next time. Have fun.